morning, friends. This is Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachman Network. Our show is sponsored by Abels and Hyman. We taste better. I'm actually in the Cedarhurst store of Gourmet Glatt. I am super excited to be here. This is one of our shows that we do a couple of times a year. I just want to thank, before we do the whole intro, the amazing team of Gourmet Glatt, Howie Klagsbrun. We could not do this without you, Yoli Steinberg, and all the guys from Schloy to Mendy today. It's all going to be appearing on the show at different points, so stick around. We have an incredible Shavuot show today, so stick around for the next hour and a half for our supersized edition of Table for Two. You can come on down to the Cedarhurst store in the Five Towns, or you can tune in to nachumsiegel.com. You can watch it on the YouTube channel of the Nachman Network on YouTube. So it's the other way around. It's the YouTube Nachman Network on YouTube. You know what I mean. Nachman Net. ZK always, yeah, I don't get that right, do I? So, and of course on your Nachman Network app, you can listen to our show as well. But watch it online. It's a lot of fun today right here from the store. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Naomi Nachman, and I'm about all the food all the time. I love shopping for it right here in this store, cooking, eating at restaurants. Anytime you don't feel like cooking, can give me a call. I cook for people for Shabbos and Yom Tov. I'm a personal chef. My business is called the Aussie Gourmet, and I really enjoy eating all the time. But it's a two-way conversation here. So anytime you've got a recipe you want to share with me, or you want to reach out about a restaurant, email me at naomi@nachumsiegel.com. You can join me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think I'm leaving something out. Pinterest. Yeah. So be in touch with me, and we'll have a conversation about food. I want to give a shout out to 3 restaurants that I ate at in the last couple of weeks. The Fish Plate, I probably ate there like 10 times in the last 2 weeks. They've been my savior. And now they make pizza as well. So they're the Fish Plate with pizza too. Love it. They were fab. Also, I ate at Paradise. I had a tasting menu with my friend Melinda Strauss of kitchen-chested.com. We had an amazing tasting menu. It was 12 courses. I had to go to spin at Studio Ina 4 times in that week to burn off all those calories, and had a fabulous meal at Abigail. So I just want to give a big shout out to that as well. We have a very exciting show, as I mentioned, but I've got one other thing I'd like to mention just for the next hour and a half. We're going to be making farmer's cheese. Yes, you heard it. We're going to be making our own farmer's cheese. If you're watching and you're in the 5 towns, you might want to run over here right now, because Alex Idov and he's the kosherologist. He's an amazing blogger. We're going to make some amazing farmer's cheese. And we've got a wine and cheese pairing. We have Shifra Klein here from Joy of Kosher. We have the cheese guy himself, Brent Delman. We're going to do a wine pairing with Shlomo Blashka. So much more coming up. We're going to make cheesecake. We're going to talk to Mendy Hers all about cheesecake. And we're going to answer the tough questions. We're going to make Howie answer all the tough questions. What's going on with Gourmet Glatt? Hot gossip right here from the store in Cedarhurst. Okay, so I'm just going to go wander over to my friend Alex, and we are just going to have some fun over there. I'm always interested in learning. Whoops. I'm always interested in learning. I'm just going to pop around here. Hi, Alex. I'm always interested in learning. Whoop. I'm going to stand here. Everything about food science, food technology, how things are made, and it's just so exciting that we put this together. How are you? Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me on your show. It's exciting.
Yeah, in person. Alex was a guest on the show over the phone because he lives in Atlanta, and he's in New York. What are you doing in New York?
I'm here doing restaurant reviews for the Jewish Home, which is a magazine distributed in the 5 towns.
Absolutely, I write for them. You'll find my recipes there.
Yep, and it's been an exciting experience just running around New York and eating my way around. So it's been fun.
I really want your job.
I know, it's a hard job, but somebody has to do it.
Okay, where are some great places that you've eaten? You heard me give a restaurant a shout out.
Marani, which is in Rego Park, is
Love
a really awesome
restaurant. They've been a guest on our show.
And Chagall Bistro, I thought was really awesome.
Beef tartare to die for.
And also Basil, of course, I thought was really awesome.
Pasta.
And Boof and Bun, those are some of the major places. And have you been to the Surf Room yet?
I've been to the Surf Room right here in Long Beach.
Yep, that's right. I thought it was a really awesome place.
2 weeks ago. Okay, great.
It was great.
So let's get started.
Okay, great.
As I mentioned, I have Alex with me. Hello, friends. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we have Alex Idov. Am I saying it right?
Idov.
Idov.
It's all the
It's
same.
it's my crazy accent.
I know, that's right. You're
Idov.
probably saying it right. I think we say it wrong.
Yes.
In Europe, I know they probably didn't say Idov, so it's
Right, Idov.
probably Idov.
So we're going to be making some. You tell us what we're doing here.
So we're making fresh farmer's cheese, which is really simple and really awesome to make. All you need is, as much milk as you want, but we're using here a half a gallon of milk and also some vinegar. We have 3 teaspoons of vinegar per half gallon of milk.
So we have 3 teaspoons of vinegar to half a gallon of milk.
Right.
And we're using whole milk.
And we're using whole milk.
I love
it tastes
whole
a
milk.
lot better that way, just using whole milk. I can say that. Brent was just telling me that you can use buttermilk, and that makes a whole other experience. You don't even have to put the vinegar. So I'm looking forward to trying that.
Matt, my gosh, we should have Brent come.
I know.
Okay. All
And,
right. So now we've got our little burner.
Right, so you want to heat the milk up to 180 degrees over a medium-low flame. So you want to make it's a gradual process. I'm kind of speeding it up a little bit here so we can see
Right,
the whole
because
thing.
that shows an hour and a half,
Right.
So stick around.
Right, so typically you just want to cook it for 30 to 40 minutes over that low medium flame until it reaches 180, and then you shut off the flame and let it sit in a warm space. So like warm up an oven, and just put it in there and you stick it there for 5.5 hours. So that
So we would take this. We're gonna show this at different stages. We're gonna keep checking back. Alex is gonna stick around, and we're gonna check on the process of that, and then we're going to see our finished product at the end of the show.
right.
Okay, so we put our milk, our vinegar, and
And then that's it for right now, and then we just let it heat it up. Like I said, till it reaches 180, and you can see there, it's already starting to curdle.
right. Can we see into the thing? It's a little bit hard to see. I'm gonna just
You can
tilt
lift it up.
Can we tilt it? Is that good? Okay.
So it's already starting to curdle, and the cheese is forming, and what's left is the whey. So we'll see it's all yellow when it's done.
What is whey? W-H-E-Y.
That's right. So that's just the byproduct of cheese making, I believe. And
Okay.
it's I'm not a
That's it
cheese
later.
right. I'm not a cheese expert. This is the extent of my cheese knowledge and
Okay.
cheese making knowledge.
Now, why would you want to make your own farmer's cheese? I mean, I like to make everything from scratch, but why would one want to make their own farmer's cheese?
Well, I'll tell you why I started making it is my sister's family keeps Chalav Yisrael, and in Atlanta, where I'm from, Chalav Yisrael cheese is very, very expensive. More so than it is anywhere else.
Right, we're so lucky
So,
in New York that we have
right.
Gourmet Glatt in stores.
Right.
That we can
I
get
wish
to.
we had this. I wish.
I know, we're very, very lucky.
All right, so I decided one year the grocery store in Atlanta marks down things when they're going. Milk is expensive too, of course. But when they mark it down, I bought it and said I'm going to make my own farmer's cheese for Shavuot because I needed it to make lasagna, to make cheese shells, and I just used it in the recipes. And it's also great in Danish. You can make it savory, you can make it sweet. Put sugar in it if you want it sweet. When it's done, when it's ready to be seasoned, or you can put salt in it to make it salty. Use it in lasagna, whatever you want to use it. It's really versatile. It's great, and it tastes so much better fresh. I really
Right, you know
I
what?
love it
Everything
better
tastes
fresh.
better fresh, and I guess it's not processed, and you're making it yourself, so you really get to see what's in it. This is fantastic. So we could actually make. I'm going to be making some crepes now. I'm just going to switch this over. I know
Okay.
it's going to mess it up
No,
for a
please.
minute, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to be making some crepes in a minute. But what we could do is, let me get that nice and hot, is use your farmer's cheese, and one could make filling for the crepes, like a blitz crepe.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool, with your own farmer's cheese. And, as much as we think it's awesome to have, frozen packages of, in Gourmet Glatt, we have delicious cheese lacquers. There's nothing like making your own from scratch. So,
Right.
and you'll see, I'm going to show you now how to make some blintzes, crepes, and Alex has shown you how to make the cheese. So if you're going that extra mile, that is Shavuot, I call it Hidur HaMitzvah. Whenever I make something a little extra
Completely.
special for Yontif and I go out of my way, Hashem appreciates it. So, okay, I've got my pan heating up, which is great. In here, so we're just going to stick around. I've got eggs. I'm going to put this up on my blog, theaussiegourmet.com, and we're also going to try and put it up on the Nachman Siegel Network, one of our links there, on Table for Two link. We'll try and get this recipe up. But it's 3 eggs, 1.5 cups of water, 1 cup of flour, teaspoon of oil, and a dash of salt. And the key to making really good crepes is I find you've got to get it up early, right? It needs to sit. And it needs like 15 minutes. You can't just make the batter and start cooking it. You want it the gluten to stretch, and it makes a much better batter. A better batter. I could say that in American. A better batter. Does that sound? No.
Sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar, right? With American accent. Okay, so this I made like an hour ago. It's a nice creamy batter. And you always want to stir the bottom because sometimes the flour will settle. Okay, I'm just going to put this over on the side. I'm going to hold up my crepe pan. This I bought in the local Bed Bath & Beyond about 12 years ago. It is the best pan you can buy. I wish that they could sponsor my talk about this. It's B-E-R-N-D-E-S, Berndes. It is absolutely fabulous. In my house, this is a sin to use anything. You can only use it for making crepes. You're not allowed to fry onions or make omelets. And the way I wash it is I take my 2 fingers, warm water and soap, and I wash it that way. No bristles are allowed to touch this pan. It's really a fantastic pan. Okay, so what I do, and it's non-stick, I'm just going to take, it works really well, 1/4 cup. I'm just going to mix that again. And if your batter is too thick, it's not a problem. Thin it out with a little bit of water. Okay, now of course, when you're on live broadcast of Nachum Siegel Network, and you're cooking and talking, you always pray that, right?
That's right.
That your food is going to work out just right. So I'm going to take about 1/4 of a cup of, and it's all in the hand action. It's all in the wrist. And it doesn't matter if it's got a lump or two. It'll be fine. And we're going to swirl that, making sure. Okay, looks good. We're going to let that cook and set for a minute, and we're going to see how easy this is to make. Now, what I do also besides making cheese crepes, is I make a blintz crepe, and I make like 20 crepes, and it goes quite fast. I call it finding my groove. When I've got just the right heat setting and the batter's just right, they go so fast. In 10 minutes, you can have 20 crepes. And I just lay them up, stack them up between layers of dulce de leche, nuts and jam, chocolate sauce. And then it's like this high. It's about 1/2 foot to 1 foot high. And then you just, slice it, or you can serve it as a pie or a cake, or you can just make, individual traditional crepes filled. One of my favorites is goat cheese. I think Brent Udden taught me this. Goat cheese and caramel sauce. Thank you for that, but we'll talk about that later on in our segment together. I love caramel sauce and goat cheese. And here we go. Of course. It is a favorite of mine. You throw in a little bit of nuts. It just makes sure this is on high enough, and it is still on. This should be setting a little bit faster. Okay, the first one is always your most difficult. It's called the kapara one. This is the one that you give the kids who are hungry when they come home from school.
It's good to have a little mess-ups just to nash on.
Yeah, this is your nash. Okay, I did a beautiful cooking demo this week. We did some crepes. We did it for Kahal. It was a fundraiser for Kahal. It's a special educational school right here in the Five Towns, and I did this. The first one was not good, and the second one was perfect. So we're going to give the second one a whoops. Okay, that did not work so well. But, it's okay to have a disaster. I always pride myself on my perfect blintz crepes, but I think that every once in a while you can have a little disaster. I've got a paper towel underneath. We're going to have to just, where are the paper towels? Okay, we have a paper towel. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Miriam and Danny, ZK, for coming out here today. And we're just going to wipe that down. We might come back to that. Okay. All right, we're going to come back to our blintz crepes in a minute. We're going to let that pan get a little bit hotter. Okay, I'm going to put this back up on here for you. Okay. I'm going to go talk to Shifra for a little bit.
Awesome.
Okay. Let that get nice and hot. Right, is that good? Did I do it on the right temperature?
Yep, that's fine, perfect.
Okay, Alex is going to be here doing his ricotta cheese. I'm going to go talk to Shifra Klein from Joy of Kosher. Come join me on the set. Okay, great. Thank you, Alex. Okay. Hi, Shifra.
Hey.
Okay, we're going to have to come back. I had a bit of a disaster, but it's good for people to see that.
Well, in your defense, those pans aren't the best to cook on. So
the
those burners,
burners, I know. But I pride myself on being like a really good crepe maker.
Right.
But the key is that everybody at home has a kerfuffle.
Exactly.
So
That's true.
I had a kerfuffle in front of a few thousand people. But you know what? I'm okay with that. We're going to
Yeah.
keep going, and I'm going to try and get that in at the end. How are you?
Good. I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, good. We saw each other last week at that amazing event for
Yeah.
Culinary for a Cause.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And it was so much fun to do the demos and watch everyone's
I know. I like to
exciting
watch.
food.
We got to watch each other, which
I
was
know.
nice. There were 6 of us there, so that was really nice. Miriam Pascal, and me, and you,
Yeah.
and Deanie Klein from Deanie Delivers, and
Yeah.
Of course Honey Apfelbaum.
Yeah, it was great.
Victoria Dweck, thanks. I'm counting. That's 5. Who've I left off? Sharon Glick was one of the organisers, but that was an amazing.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, so
Totally.
I love getting together and talking about food, and of course talking about joy of kosher. You know why I'm doing this? Because it's hot off the press. It's literally hot.
It really is. Yeah, it's not in stores yet.
It's not
Yeah.
even in stores, but it's right here in Gourmet Glatt this morning. I like that you have the people get to choose the cover. I voted this time.
Oh, you voted? Did you vote for this cover?
I voted for this cover.
Okay.
What if
You
they
know
had
what? It really helps. Somebody asked us if we do it like for marketing. I mean, it's great marketing, but it really helps us choose.
No, it's great.
Because, you know, you have all these great shots and you're like, what should you do? What should you choose?
Yeah, well, you chose good. You want to
Thank you.
lick this
Yeah.
cheesecake. Okay, another gorgeous edition. What's new in here? We've got some new stuff going on.
Yeah, we have really exciting new things besides like new recipes from so many new writers, which is so incredible. We have a new column. We have a few new columns. We have a restaurant review column.
Oh, I love
which
that.
Elon Kornblum does.
Oh, of course.
So he's like the guy to speak to about new
course.
restaurants. So because it was our vegetarian issue in honor of Shavuot, he did all the latest vegetarian restaurants around the world. So it was really,
Ah,
really interesting.
nice.
Yeah. And that's fascinating to read. We did a whole travel column for summer. Like, it's so amazing how, kosher has exploded. And it's insane. And so you can literally travel to Italy with Susie Fishbein and have an amazing kosher culinary experience. Or, you know, we wrote about KMR and their summer programs in the Rockies.
Right.
Or, you know, you can do a culinary tour of Israel. And so
Yeah,
it's
I've done-
really,
I've done
really
2 of
interesting.
those. I love
oh, you
it.
did it?
I've done it.
It's amazing. I could just imagine.
It was through Machane Yehuda.
Oh, okay.
We had Joel Haber. He was a tour guide, and we had him on the show.
Oh, that's
He was in
amazing.
Israel and talking to us about...
It's fascinating. I mean, we've done our own, you know, but I'm sure it's incredible to go with a tour guide. So we have that. We have a new column also. We did dinner with. So we go to different chefs or different food personalities, and we go to their house and cook dinner with them.
You went to Kim Kushner.
So we went to Kim Kushner's house. She's coming out with a great new book.
She's amazing. She
Yeah.
was on the show, and then after the show, I went with her to her cookbook set where they were shooting the footbook. Shooting the cookbook.
Oh, wow. So how was the
doing
shoot?
the photography.
Was it amazing?
Amazing. I've always wanted to come.
It's so funny because we had our food stylist, because we do all the photos ourselves. Our food stylist, we were working with one. She moved to Israel, so we hired a new person, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going tomorrow to shoot a cookbook." She's like, "It's also kosher." I'm like, "Which one?" And she's like, "Kim Kushner's." So the woman who styled our last magazine was on the set of Kim's
Oh, that's
cookbook.
so
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, I think she's Israeli,
Yeah,
right?
Hadass.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
met her. Amazing.
So that was such a small world
They have
also.
like cameras this
Yeah,
big.
it's fascinating. Yeah.
And then you have an article about fish tacos by yours truly.
Yes, and they were so good. The pickled onions were like sitting in our fridge for like a month, and you can top it with anything.
Right, but wasn't
It's
it
so
cool? Like, I'd
versatile.
never seen one, and there are so many, but I wanted mine to, separate mine out from
Yeah.
everyone else's by putting the balsamic vinegar in there.
Yeah, it was a really nice
I
touch.
think I thought it deepened the flavor a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I don't know how long do you think those last?
It lasted, until you finish eating
I
it.
know, right?
No, it really could last for a while, yeah.
Okay, 'cause
and
I
it just
wasn't
gets
sure.
more, the color gets so nice. It's beautiful.
Okay, good.
And it's a great condiment. We had named it the condiment of the year a few issues ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So, yeah, that was great. I'm
love-
going to show everyone your article. It was so
Oh,
nice.
thanks.
Yeah. It was fun to shoot.
Schiffer
So
reached
these
out
are
to
your
me.
tacos.
Oh, it looks so pretty. I've
Yeah.
only seen it in black and,
And the
white.
avocado cream sauce was really yum.
I love that.
Yeah, we put it in a squeeze bottle. Squeeze bottle is a great tip also.
Right.
You get those squeeze bottles, you can get it in Michael's, and you can use it to make anything look so elegant because you just drizzle it over a
Drizzle.
salad
That's
or over
probably
the
what
tacos.
all the restaurants
That's
do.
what they do. And even oil, I put the oil that I'm using to cook in a squeeze bottle, and then I don't have to use, a big bottle that's going to splatter everywhere.
Yeah.
You just drizzle
It's
it in.
more
So that's great.
controlled.
Yeah, yeah.
Very controlled. Okay, and then you have our usual Lavana does something.
Yeah, Lavana did a cauliflower. That's also, we wrote about how cauliflower is sort of
Like,
the new kale,
love
you
that.
could say, because it's so versatile. There's so many things you could do with it, especially for Shavuos, especially if you're going vegetarian. We did a cauliflower crust, a pasta with roasted cauliflower. And in general, what we did was we did the light side of pasta, which is
Okay.
like Alessandra Ravati.
Oh, she's amazing.
So,
she's
yeah,
dinner in Venice. She's actually Italian, and
Yeah.
she lives in Manhattan, and she knows everything about Italian
Exactly.
cooking.
So she gave first of all, a pasta guide. We called it a culinary crash course because
Yeah, I
it
love
really
that.
tells you everything you need to know about pasta. I learned so much just from reading it, just about the secrets of cooking pasta. Amazing.
I love cooking tips.
Yeah.
I try when I do a show, either on Table for Two or a live cooking demo. I like to give out as much information as possible.
It's really incredible how a small tip could change
Right,
your
change
whole way of
cooking.
doing something.
In fact, I gave Danny one today. Danny Goldberg. He's getting married, and he's going to start maybe cooking in his house. He's our
Maybe cooking,
executive assistant director. I always get the titles wrong. Assistant program director, and we were preparing for the show, and he grabbed table salt, and I said for one of our demos, and I said, kosher salt. Now
Yeah, it makes a very big
everyone
difference.
is table salt only goes in the salt shaker for challah.
Yeah.
We only like to use kosher salt in our cooking or sea salt.
Yeah, it makes a very big difference.
And
yeah.
like cooking tips are really important. So try it. I know that Jamie had put a whole bunch in from different chefs in the last edition.
Yeah, that was really fun too.
Yeah.
And all those tips really, enhance your cooking for sure. And then we did a whole thing on seaweed. It's really, really
yeah.
fascinating. So yeah, I'll show you. So Tamar, she's our nutrition editor. And
Tamar
she's also
Genga.
the editor of the website. And she's a nutritionist. So first of all, seaweed, besides its, nori that you eat on sushi, there's so
Right.
many other varieties. And there's a company, Eden Organic, and they do under the OK supervision. So they have a whole line of seaweed, and it's so healthy. There's so many health benefits to it, and there's so
People are
many
a little
exciting.
freaked out from seaweed.
And there's
still.
I know, and there's so many exciting things that you can do with it. So we just visited that in this issue
Okay,
as
so
well.
what are we doing with seaweed?
So first of all, with nori, we did toasted nori.
okay.
And it's really incredible. It's fun for a snack or to top on salads.
we
were
the sushi
munching on
nori,
them.
the
Yeah,
sushi nori.
we
What, you just cut it up?
You take the square, you toast it in the oven with different things. You can do, we did sesame oil, honey, and sesame seeds. Or you can do you can make different combinations. We wrote about it in the magazine. And then you toast it on a low temperature. And when it's ready, you cut it up. And then you can either have it, Tamar says her son eats it for snack. I don't see my kids
Of course
taking
he
it
does.
to school.
My daughter takes onion rings.
Yeah.
No, I'd like her to have the toasted sesame, but
Yeah, so she
okay,
says her
I'm
son...
gonna learn. I'm learning.
Yeah, so it's more of an adult snack, but it's great on salad, toppings, and so on. And then we did an arami. I'll show it to you.
A
I'll
what?
show
A what?
arami. It's like
Arami?
it looks like it was one of our cover choices actually.
Okay.
You would think I saw the magazine so often I would know where it is.
Okay, it's like me shopping Gourmet Glatt. I was able to tell when we're setting up. Go to aisle 3, left side, halfway down. That's where the eggs are, or
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we looking?
So we're looking at the arami, which is really cool. It's these black strings, noodles.
And where do they sell them in local supermarkets?
Yeah, they should sell it in local
I'm
supermarkets.
sure Howie will get it in for us.
And it's really, really cool. It has a good texture, it has a good flavor, and it's healthy.
Looks
And so we
really-
made this is
What is it exactly?
It's seaweed.
Arami is a version of seaweed.
It's a type of seaweed, and then we used kelp, which is kombu, to make a stock because it has a lot of flavor. It has natural MSG.
What's kelp again?
It's also a different type of seaweed. It's like
Is that what you see in the bottom of the ocean?
what? I guess that's where it comes from, but
I guess it all comes
it's like a thick thick piece of seaweed, and it's it has natural MSG in it.
Right. What's
really
that
cool.
new? They call it something. That new flavor they talk about umami.
Umami.
Umami. That's one of the umami flavors.
for sure. And you really get the taste of the ocean, which is really cool. Yeah.
Nice. Now there's a very big Facebook group called What's for Supper.
Yeah.
I don't know. There must be 10, 20,000 people in it. I don't know. How do you say her name? Naomi Gurvich?
Gnavish.
Gnavish.
Yeah.
So she spells her name differently than me, but she also has
So she started this What's for Supper group, and so we interviewed her in the magazine because this group exploded, and now she's busy with it all day.
all day.
She's really busy, and you would think it's just a Facebook group, and it was really inspiring. It was great to hear her story, And and it was on Pesach, and I was on Facebook, and this lady had written, "Oh, I lost my carriage. I left my carriage in Baltimore. I'm on my way to New York." And like within seconds, on What's for Supper, somebody found her carriage, picked it up. It was being shipped back to New York. So I said, it's so incredible how social media and how such groups work together. So that's what inspired the interview. It was that story.
That's great.
Yeah.
We need to make some shidduchim on these.
She has a What's for Supper shidduch group.
Really?
Yeah, no jokes.
That's amazing. Yeah. Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
And we're doing a contest, best cheesecake ever contest.
Well,
we're going to post it this week.
Mendy,
because we did a mix and match cheesecake article where we have a base. Melissa K.
Big shout out to you, Melissa.
And it was a really incredible recipe.
I just got to hold this up.
Yeah.
Look at their beautiful photography. It's really stunning. You guys you're so innovative. You know, I get a lot of magazines come my way. I don't see this kind of photography. That's really beautiful.
Thanks.
Credit to you all.
So, credit to Ruvi, leader, the photographer.
But you're the captain at the front, so you did great with that.
Thank you. So, we did many different combinations. We did something that was interesting. I mean, we did funfetti, which is so cool. We did a green tea combination.
Ooh,
it was very
nice.
unique with berries on top. So we want to hear everyone's combinations. You can email the magazine at joyofkosher.com or on Facebook. And the details will be on the site.
Okay, thank you so much, Shifra.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it. Shifra comes all the way from Crown Heights on a
far.
Friday morning, so I really appreciate it very much that you came down.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm going to just ask you to pop down. I'm going to have the guys come up. Please stick around. We've got a great show, Shifra. We'd love you to try some of our cool stuff. Do you need this?
No.
Okay. Okay. Hi. We are listening. You are listening to Table for Two on the Nachum Siegel Network. Our show is sponsored by Abels and Hyman. We taste better. We are also heard on Arut Sheva English Radio. Hi, guys. I have got Shlomo Blashka from Royal Wine Corporation. And I've got Brent Zellman, the cheese guy. We are so excited that they are here in the house. Okay, how are you?
Thanks, Naomi.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we did a little show together. And I figured, being in the store would be a lot of fun. We usually meet together in the studio, so that's great.
This is great.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you? I've
Wonderful.
got two wonderful gentlemen. I was at a cooking demo this week at Degustabus, and they brought some wine, and they gave me a bit of a mention.
I was stuck in upstate New York looking at some distilleries.
Tasting wine. Another job I want.
Bourbon and scotch.
Bourbon and scotch, yeah.
Whiskey's not really scotch.
Yeah, you remember that time that you taught me how to drink bourbon and whiskey and pouring them in our hands at 9 o'clock in the morning?
It's fantastic.
Yeah. I never got the taste for it. I'm much more of a wine drinker, but yeah.
No
wine
worries.
and cheese. Okay, guys.
Yeah, that's exciting.
What have we got? We have to pack in so much right now. Okay, do you want to start off by talking about cheese? Brent is the cheese guy. He makes his own cheese, or he imports cheese, or he does private runs, a boutique cheese.
Yeah, all of the above. I go out and I contract and I source ingredients and I actually make cheese. I get to have the fun of stirring the curds. By the way, I just wanted to mention, talking about curds and whey. So just to go back to your point this morning about what is whey. Whey is the liquid drain off, which is, we all know the nursery rhyme, eating your curds and whey, Little Miss Muffet, right?
Right.
So
she was eating cheese.
Milk was when it coagulates and starts to become cheese. The solid is the curd and the liquid is the whey. It contains a lot of protein, but it drains off. So it's sort of like that liquidy, watery stuff, which is actually used for different things like whey protein, some of the protein drinks that you see that are becoming popular by bodybuilders and things like that. So anyway, whey is useful. And but it is the liquid drain off when you're making cheese. So, okay,
cool.
Going back to
all right. So what
cheese
what have we got here?
And it's great to be here for Shavuot, because before Shavuot, it's obviously the cheese holiday. This is my holiday and our holiday.
Our holiday.
And it's referred to in the Tanakh as the land, Israel's being the land of milk and honey,
Eretz Zavat
right?
Chalav Udvash.
And so one of the things that I like to do is not only go with the cheese and dairy theme, but also honey. So I brought some honey today here. This is a
Oh,
sunflower
that
honey.
is so nice.
You
I
were
like
talking
that.
earlier
I'm
about.
excited about that. I want to try that.
Yeah, you were speaking earlier about dulce de leche, the caramel.
Oh,
the
thanks for teaching me
pairings.
that.
My
Because of that,
pleasure.
I had to start going to the gym. So fancy, we got so good.
So the same reasoning applies to pairing the wines and cheese. You like to get that salty and the sweetness and the tannins and everything in the wine. So the same rationale applies with the honey and the caramel sweetness of the dulce de leche. So anyway, again, we're going to do some pairings of honey and cheese. What I've got here today is a
We got to tell Shlomo what he should pull out
okay.
first.
Right. All right. So
So
we're going on the fly here. We just spoke for a couple of minutes, but I think we're
Should we go-
going to be all right.
Should we do the lighter to heavier first?
Sure,
All
sure,
right. So
absolutely.
first.
Okay, this is really exciting.
If I can
It's
get-
9:30 in the morning in Gourmet Glatt on the Nachman Siegel Network, and we're about to start drinking because somewhere in the world it's already Shabbos, right? That's my
There
favorite
you go.
line. My daughter's actually in Australia.
I think they normally say 5 o'clock somewhere, but
It's 5 o'clock
know,
somewhere, so I say somewhere in the world they're making Kiddush.
Very nice.
Okay. Ooh, our favorite. I know Nachum also loves this. Nachum, a shout out to you, your orange muscat. Okay, what do we
Could
drink?
use the.
Ooh.
Yep, here's your
So
knife.
as a
not mine.
I guess a disclaimer here, we've got some cheeses that are chalav stam and some that are chalav
Chalav
Israel.
Yisrael, okay.
We also have some cheeses that are mild and young cheeses, which we're going to start out with, and we've also got some hard cheeses, which generally are considered 6-hour cheeses.
I hope we get all through of them because we don't have a long segment like we do our
Okay.
big shows.
All right. So
Okay,
The first cheese that I'm going to begin with, Shlomo, you can
you
tell
ready?
me.
Oh,
Excited?
wonderful.
Mama, what are we-
So
what
the
are we
first cheese
drinking?
that we have is the
Brie.
the brie cheese. So
Brie,
it's
oh.
it kind of reminds me of cheesecake. It looks so
Yeah.
yummy
Can
and
we
soft.
see that on set? Can we just hold this up? I think this is. Look how gorgeous that is. I've never seen brie look. Oh, my mouth is watering. I've never seen brie quite look like that.
It's yummy and don't worry about the mold on the outside. I like that part.
It's an
The
edible.
rind.
It's
right?
the rind. It's
The
an
rind.
edible rind. Absolutely.
Okay, so what are we
it's
drinking?
a natural mold.
I love it. So we're gonna have
we're
the
gonna have this
orange
now.
muscat with the brie cheese.
Okay.
Why is that? Because the sweet and the sweetness of the one. Oh wow! I'm sorry. I just got lost in there because I'm just looking at the
Right,
cheese.
Shlomo, isn't that crazy?
I'm staring at it while I'm trying to talk about the wine. But okay, so I'm gonna focus.
But that's supposed to be gooey. A
Absolutely.
little for you.
Absolutely gooey, and the orange
Nice and
muscat
ripe.
is light, sweet with nice orange blossom flavors.
Okay.
And there's a little floweriness to it, and that will really open up
Okay.
with the rind of this cheese.
Okay, that's for
So-
you. Cool. Okay.
And
So I'm just going to say Shahakol Lana Gafen, right? Baruch
What?
atah Mechalam Shakon Ivarah.
amen. So I actually have to make the bracha first on the wine, because
Right.
it's kind of a more important bracha for me. I know. You already said.
Well, and he has to do it on cheese because the cheese is more important,
I said the
right?
shakol. I've been
Baruch
eating
atah
cheese since
Melchim
I
Bar
woke up a
Okay.
couple hours ago.
Baruch atah Mechalam Baruch Gafen.
Amen. Shakol bro.
I may have mixed up the order. Maybe I should have done the wine first. Okay. I'll ask my rabbi after. This is divine. I've never had a brie like this before.
Tell me
It's
what.
really salty and sweet.
You're getting some earthiness.
Very salty.
I get the
They-
earthiness from the rind. I think. I hope.
One of the attributes that they always refer to brie cheese having is mushroomy, earthy, again salty, creamy, right, almost silky. So I
It's
think
a-
it pairs very nicely with.
It needs something really light and soft.
Was I getting
and-
citrus and
the citrus stuff,
orange and
yeah.
maybe even apricot notes in here?
Yes. Pretty.
He's
pretty.
good, right?
He's
I'm
got a
sitting
great
with
nose.
Well, look who I'm sitting with. The two of you have the most defined palates of everybody I know. You and
Well.
Jake and Brent. Oh my God, this is fabulous. So today I've had coffee, orange muscat, and a piece of cheese. That's a pretty good diet. Okay.
It is my
All right.
unfortunately I'm on a
Breakfast
real
of
diet,
champions.
so I can only take a small
A
little
little
sliver.
bit.
Otherwise,
okay. What's our next? Because we've got to keep this moving.
Okay, Let me. I think we can do another one with the muscat.
Okay,
Oh,
we
you
can do
wanna
another
do-
one. Okay,
I
we'll have a
think
little
so,
nibble
too.
of that, and then
Okay. Well, we still have a little. Do you
okay,
have
we
any
just
more,
got to keep an eye on
we
the
have-
time.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a
Because
little
we-
bit more orange muscat because it looks like you need
we're
it.
okay. Great.
By the way, this excuse me, the what we call Vermont Bloom, our style brie. I go up to Vermont and we make this.
Fantastic.
It's a brie style cheese. Now we're on to Gouda, but just backtracking. The brie, the reason that it's different, it's a real local cheese made up in Vermont. Within 24 hours, the milk goes right from the farm to the creamery next door. Wow. So it's a real fresh cheese.
This is amazing.
Now,
Fresh and farm
now
to
we're
table.
on to the Gouda.
I like those fresh and farm to table concepts are really
Absolutely.
I
fantastic.
like farm to table, farm to fork,
It's
local produce.
Gouda. Again, staying with the mild, creamy theme. Going with the fruity and
Oh.
acidic.
I like this to get a little bit better than the other two. I thought the other one was a bit salty for me, but this I think is a real marriage of flavour. The Gouda.
okay.
I'm just going to hold the packaging up to the camera.
May not look so
It is really good.
The top half of the
I
packaging.
didn't want to say
'cause we-
Gouda because that's too much of a
Gouda
corny
Gouda.
joke.
Everybody
Okay, this
uses
is
it.
lovely.
Nah,
Right?
it's a little too corny, but it's really
Okay.
delicious.
Delicious.
You know, I'm thinking that a little of the honey would go amazing with the Gouda. Am I wrong?
Should we crack
Or
that
am I
open?
right?
Should we crack
do it.
open the
Let's
honey?
do it.
We'll
And
see
these
how
are
that
all
goes.
great ideas for Shavuot. Do a little a cheese board. I quite often do it Sunday for lunch. I'll come to Gourmet Glatt. I'll go to the cheese section and I'll buy a whole bunch of your cheeses and I make a cheese board at home for lunch. I get some crackers, jams, nuts, dulce de leche, and I make for my family some
wow.
some of this amazing product that you have here.
Very
so
nice.
now,
This-
why this honey looks crystallized? Can we just hold it up? This is honey. Okay. It's not dripping down. I'm holding up honey. There a little drip down there, but it's very crystallized. Why is that?
It's a sunflower honey. It comes from this one comes from
Just
the Ukraine
amazed.
actually.
I'm so.
And
What do you need?
I just love the honey. It's,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I feel like a kid in a candy store, literally. Just looking at these.
So
You're a kid
this-
in a candy store. The
in
candy's
terms
right
of honey,
there.
in terms of honey profiles, this tends to be on the milder side. Sunflower is not like a buckwheat or some of the other flowers that other honeys come from.
I love the texture of this honey because it's crystallized.
Yeah.
Really lovely.
So again, lighter side of the honey spectrum goes well with the lighter, creamier cheeses.
Okay, great.
Okay. All right.
If you taste it with the orange muscat, you're really gonna see a
Yeah,
flavor.
it was okay. So let me have a little bit more. I'm going to do. So what do you think, Shom, I should be doing?
You
We're
could-
doing Gouda, honey, and the wine.
And the orange muscat.
fantastic. Everyone's kind of a little jealous of what we're doing here right now, but you can come to Gourmet Glatt and buy all this stuff and take it home. You can make it for lunch this afternoon. Okay. A cheese board Friday afternoon. You know what? Instead of pizza, this is a great alternative. Maybe no wine for the kids, but
Listen, you know,
cheese and crackers is a great snack.
You can even do a Shabbos dairy lunch too. Go out on a limb.
It's you know
We're saving it for Shavuot.
I happen to like a cheese concept more on warmer weather than having hot pizza or hot food. You know, it's like when people have the kiddishes on Shabbos day. I kind of like colder food because it's hot outside. You know, men, we're in our suits and ties, and it's really warm and it's really hot. And rather than having like some drinks of scotch or bourbon or rum or tequila for Shabbos Kiddush, I'll have a light glass of light wine, like a dessert wine, and I actually would prefer like a thing that we just had, like a cheese, the Gouda, and that's a fantastic honey, which I have to go now and buy.
we gotta
I'm gonna
go
go buy
get
that.
this.
I'm going to buy that.
I'm going to
like,
show
honey.
this
No
product to
question.
Howie, and Howie's going to start serving in a Gourmet
Okay.
Glatt,
Well,
'cause this
I'm
is-
actually going to be importing it in the very near future.
Okay,
when I
so
get
we're
it.
going to find this from you.
Oh,
Okay.
wonderful.
But I know that Gourmet Glatt has a nice selection of honeys. Okay, let's go on to our next cheeses because we're just too excited
Okay.
here.
I know.
You are listening to Table for Two on the Nachman Siegel Network.
By the way, guy, I love the picnic Shabbos afternoon kind of theme. We do it up in.
Shalashittis.
Well,
You know
I-
what? It's a long day. You're milking by then. Have some cheese and wine at 7:30. Shabbos doesn't go out till 9.
We're lucky up in the Riverdale Yonkers area to go to a park, actually what is it, a national park, I guess, Wave Hill.
Okay.
And a lot of the community walks over there and they take a picnic lunch and we meet up there. looking out
so
over the
nice.
Hudson River, and it's
really
just
nice.
That's beautiful.
yeah, planetarium actually is the proper term, but yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
cheeses and wine would go wonderful at Wave
Next
Hill.
up.
Next one is
What is this?
Reggianito Parmesan. It's a Parmesan that's made
Is this
in.
a 6-hour cheese?
It is a 6-hour.
Okay.
This is a 6-hour. This is an aged cheese, aged over a year, made in Argentina. Okay. Let me pass these out.
Here. Some for me, some for you, Shlomo. Did you just change wines there?
I did.
He was thinking. It's like he knows
I was
each
I was
wine.
half going. So the wine that I want to use with this very rich and robust Parmesan is the Shiloh Mosaic. In Hebrew, that's the Psifas, and it's the flagship wine of the Shiloh Winery.
Oh, I love them. We had
full-bodied
Amichai
wine.
on our show.
Amichai originally from Boston and Meyer Schomer from Mexico City are really two of the most wonderful people you'll ever meet. They love showing people the winery and having food and wine pairings that they do all the time. As Amichai is a really top flight chef. As he was on the Anthony Bourdain show.
Oh, was he?
He
and
was.
on Table for Two.
He
so
was.
there you
So
go.
he's-
Anthony Bourdain, Nachum Siegel Network. Woohoo!
So he goes to both sides of the fence, and he'll show everybody how to show the very best of Israel. And
I was completely blown away by him.
he's
Such a halachic man.
Yes.
Such a food man.
he's a really sweet guy, and he'll do anything he can to make people happy. And he loves cheese, by the way. He really, really loves cheese. It's very hard for them to get the cheeses like we
he
do.
makes
but-
his own matzah after Chatzot Erev Pesach. In
Yes.
His own matzah bakery in his house. Completely blown away by this guy.
You know, the town of Shiloh is actually one of the oldest
Towns in Israel.
for Judaism, as that's where the first Mishkan was.
Right.
So it's, in fact, they were making wine there for a long time, and
2,000 years maybe.
probably a little bit longer, as the second bias was
Cool.
2,000 years ago. So it's even.
Israel's the
25.
oldest wine region in the world, right?
I would say technically it should be, though I'm not sure where Noach actually landed after the boat, dropped after there. That's
Right.
when
Didn't he drink some wine or something?
he did. I don't know where that was, but I'm gonna call it Israel because why not? It sounds good. So
Okay, so this is our cheese, and you're pouring us some.
I'm gonna pour this is the Shiloh Mosaic, very full-bodied, very rich wine, and these dry aged cheeses are
Okay.
a full meal.
Is it okay that we're using our same glass?
Yes,
I
this
already
is a-
smashed a glass this
That's
morning.
okay. It's a very French concept to do everything in the same glass, one to the next. Oops, sorry, I didn't get a little spill.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Wait,
So-
we're supposed to swirl, right? We swirl?
I would swirl a little bit, but I'll tell you there was a little residual of the orange muscat in it, so it's going to make it
I
possibly.
suck mine dry, don't worry. I'm not going to waste orange muscat. Okay,
I wanted
so
to point out one thing on the cheese here, that if you can see almost like that flaky consistency and texture,
yeah.
that comes from the aging.
Yep.
And it becomes hard and sharp as it ages. And as I mentioned, this is aged over a year. Reggianito is almost a copy of Reggiano. Maybe you've heard of the Italian Parmesan Reggiano. So
Yeah,
Reggianito
yes.
means the small Reggiano, ITO on the end of the word. So Reggianito is made by Italian immigrants to Argentina, and it's a copy sort of the original Italian Parmigiano Reggiano.
Well, this tastes amazing. It's not powerfully strong, but it's got a sharp taste. A little crystal, right? A little bit of crystallization. I love
There's
that.
in crystals, protein crystals. Very nice, very nice.
I
This
took the
goes
liberty
beautiful together.
of throwing an almond in there.
So
as well.
what do I
So-
do? So they
so
put
we
in.
just-
I saw
some
it on the
nuts.
plate.
Roasted almonds.
Okay.
The roasted almonds go very well with hard aged cheeses.
Okay, I'm just going to give a wave to Alex. Alex, how is our cheese going? We're just going to take a break segment. Okay, Alex Idov, come on, join us over here. Alex Idov, we're saying both. I'm covering all our grounds.
Both
Alex
sound good.
is a cheese maker as well, right here in Gourmet Glatt. As we start off our
I was
first
very
segment.
impressed. It came
We're
out
just
real
going to
nice.
give a little bit of an update. How's our farmer's cheese? We started off our first segment and I figured it'll be a good idea to check on our cheese segment while we're still doing a different cheese segment, because it's all about Shavuot today. How's our homemade farmers cheese going?
It's looking good. It's the temperature has reached 180 and it's curdling, and it's I see the whey. It's all yellow, so I know it's separating the curds from the whey. And,
there you go. Thank
right?
you.
Yeah, thank you. I know it's real intimidating to be making cheese in front of you, I have to say. It's,
He's doing a great job. Let's give it up,
absolutely.
Alex. He's doing a great job.
Thank
the
you.
Kosherologist, follow his blog. Kosherology, the Kosherologist.
thekosherologist.com.
Okay, so would you like to try a little bit of our Parmesan cheese?
Sure, I can't say no to
Okay.
that.
All right, so let's
Thank you.
continue.
Okay, we're going to continue with the same theme, a hard cheese. This time we're going to go from cow to sheep milk cheese. Now, this is a new cheese that we have trademarked and coined the term, the new name, Moncelli. It's a Manchego style cheese. Manchego is a sheep's milk cheese made in the La Mancha region of Spain.
Can you say that again? La Mancha.
La Mancha.
Sounds so cool. La Mancha.
The man of
My wife could do it more justice
Yeah,
than I.
she's from South America.
Argentinian. So this is a similar cheese to the Manchego.
Okay.
We produce this in Israel, in central Israel, in the foothills of the Judean hills, and we call it Moncelli. Israeli, Manchego, Moncelli.
Oh,
So-
very cute. I like that.
So,
we're going to eat
thank
that
you.
now? What are
That's
we going
what
to
we're
drink
gonna
with that?
I want to try it with the Shiloh. I'm
We're
curious
trying
to
it with
see.
Shiloh?
I agree. I think this is
Okay.
this is a sheep milk cheese. This
Do
is
you want to take it?
Absolutely.
I don't know how
it's similar
Oh,
to
I
what
don't have gloves on. I
Oh
don't know
no,
if you want it.
I trust
You
your.
trust me. I'm very clean hands. You've been busy
Congenial.
washing up.
the
before
rind.
show.
By the way, the rind on the outside is not edible. I did not give you guys
it's not
part of
edible.
it, but no, this rind is not.
Why is it not edible?
This is not a natural rind.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So,
So it's
It's like
been,
a plastic cover, so to speak.
It's
So if
been
I ate
essentially painted
it,
on.
if I ate it, it's not the worst thing in the world.
It's not
or?
the worst thing in the world,
Okay.
but it is. But it
making
is
sure.
not a mold or a natural rind.
This is a superstar. I love this.
Fortunately, I get over to Israel a few times a year. As you know, I have a son in the IDF. Shout
I know,
out to my son
amazing.
Ari.
I like it.
Chayal Boded.
He is. He's in one of the special forces, and he's doing great work.
gonna
I'm
cry.
very proud of him. So besides getting over to visit my
That's
son,
so cool.
my son Ari, I get to visit some little small cheesemakers, and this is one of the cheesemakers that I found. It's phenomenal stuff. They made a recipe, and I go over there and help them make cheese, and they continue to make cheese for me a few times a year. But this is our newest addition,
This is-
Moncelli.
You've never brought this on to our shows
No,
I've done with
this is
with,
a brand new cheese.
Jay. This is amazing. This is right.
Fantastic.
And
This
we're
would be
drinking
similar
this
to,
with our shit on.
and this
Okay.
would be
Yep.
similar in the non-kosher world
All right.
to what's called Manchego Fresco,
Manchego.
All right.
a young Manchego sheep milk cheese.
Guys, what's our next one? You're going to finish a wine? Are we going to try another cheese? We have one more one more pairing. Okay, one more pairing, and we are got a very action-packed show today.
Okay,
It's crazy,
wonderful,
right?
wonderful.
Very busy for Shavuot. We're going to do a fish segment next, so stay tuned. Watch us online, NachumSiegel.com, right here, broadcast from Cedarhurst. All right, now see Shlomo is going to open up another bottle of wine, and you're going to open up another cheese.
So the one that I just handed out,
Is that the viney one?
it is.
I love this. I had this on Pesach. Right? Was this? I saw you when you and I
Amazing, right?
when you and I had spoken about cooking and stuff, and you told me that you had a run. I actually came right over to Gourmet Glatt to grab one off the shelves because this
Thank
is
you. That
only
that
done.
makes me very happy
No,
that you had it
because
on
this is
Pesach.
only done a few times a year. This is a really special cheese.
To have had this on Pesach, the
We
fact
are-
that we were able to get it kosher la Pesach was a real feat. So
We are really-
thank you. I appreciate the fact
no,
that you
and-
were able to enjoy it.
And we appreciate that you did this for us. Really, you want all kinds of flavors, and sometimes people don't think that Pesach food is flavorful. I can tell you now, Pesach food is amazing on so many levels. Being a Pesach chef, but being able to get products like your product. Okay, what are we doing, Shlomo? Our
now
final
have-
drink, because we're moving right along.
The
We're gonna be
Herzog
having-
Reserve
Yeah.
Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, Napa Valley. I heard all about Napa Valley yesterday. Did you get my email about that?
I did. That's
Thank
why.
you, Shlomo.
It is the coup de grace for that for a specific reason.
Okay.
We have to find a place to remove.
Do I need to drink this up?
That's completely up to you. Whatever you'd like to choose.
I know I'm Australian. I'd have to drain a glass. Come on.
All right.
Okay, here we go. All right, I'm good. I swirl, right? I'm swirling.
Swirl it, sniff it, then sip it. We're
This
not
is for my friend. You know who I'm talking about.
Mr. J.
Oh,
So it's
different.
yes, it is. It's definitely different. And this cheese,
Okay, so I'm having it with a viney cheese.
Again, a trademark name, Viney Sheep, is because it is soaked in red wine. Hence the viney.
Is this challah Israel?
It is. This
It is
called-
challah Israel. Amazing. Guys, you were fantastic. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for coming on to
Thank
the
you
show
very much.
today.
If I might just give one last shout out, watch for us in the Israel Day Parade this year. We're going to have a
cheese float?
cheese guy float.
Woo! Okay, excellent.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
very
me.
much for coming,
Have a gr-
Bren. Thank
have
you
a
very
great
much for
Shabbos.
Chag
coming,
Sameach,
Shlomo.
Shabbat Shalom.
And
Thank you.
now Lag BaOmer is behind us, and we are getting closer, literally, to the countdown because we are counting down for Shavuot. I'm just going on a walkabout, our walkabout on our set, coined for the Australian term. Oh, this looks amazing. Okay, so we are going to have an amazing demonstration now about fish. This is one of my newest recipes, but I'm going to ask on the set to come join me on my cooking demo set, Simon Springer. Simon Springer, where are you? Come on over. He works for Aussie's Fish. He's grabbing a microphone. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you for everything, making it all so smooth. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Everybody's so tall today.
How's it going?
How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. What are we cooking today?
Okay, so we're going to make some ceviche, but I wanted to talk to you. Did you see our cheese, by the way?
It looks delicious.
I know.
It looks very good.
I know. We're going to check back with Alex and check how that's going. So you're new to the Aussies family. You've joined up with them.
I'm new to the Aussies family about a month. I worked other fish places for some time previously. I've been doing kosher food for give or take 10 years.
Okay.
And here I am.
And you're from a different part of the country.
I'm from Seattle, Washington.
Shout out to all our Seattle friends.
Your friend Melinda Strauss.
Yes.
I
Chested.
actually became from inside her house. Actually, her father and her family, phenomenal people. Really, really phenomenal
Russ
people.
Saxon from Seattle. Thank you.
So yeah.
And Seattle is kind of synonymous with fresh fish also.
We have a
You're
lot of
fish
fresh
snobs.
fish.
You're fish
We're
snobs
fish
over there.
snobs, and I have even a different pedigree. My mother's family is Norwegian, and my grandfather was a fisherman in Norway. And when he came over here, he was a sailor, and he taught me how to fish. And then growing up where I grew up, I fished a lot. I caught everything: trout, salmon. Whatever else swims over there, I caught it.
Oh wow, that is
Yeah.
really cool. So
Yeah.
you must make gravlax then.
I do make gravlax. I'm not so good at it though.
I'll teach you. That's one of my
She'll teach me.
favorite things. Okay, let's talk a little bit about fish. Now it's the fish and cheese and dairy holiday, and we had to learn a lot about cheese. Talk to me about fish. How do I know what the freshest fish is? I bought fish, and how do I know how long I can keep it in my fridge? How do I know what it should look or smell like? People go, oh, it's bad. It smells like fish. Like you have all these.
So if your fish actually smells, depending on the fish, sea bass is going to have a little bit of a funk to it just because it's sea bass and it's very oily. Usually, you want to take a look at the eyes. If the eyes are glassy and clear, it's a very, very nice fresh fish. If they start looking cloudy, you have a little bit of time, and if they're gone, don't eat it. Also, the gills should actually look a little like that tuna in the bowl right there. Nice, fresh. They should look clean. If they start looking muddled and dirty, don't eat that fish because you'll regret it later.
And what is the difference? Because we're now going to make some ceviche. What's the difference between tuna sushi and your regular fresh tuna? Because I use a lot of I like to eat my fish very rare
Right.
or raw.
Right.
Why sushi grade? Why do I need to buy sushi grade? Can I buy? Because I know that Aussie sells the freshest fish.
Aussie's does sell pretty fresh fish, but sushi grade tuna is really about how fresh actually the fish is. Any fish really you can eat straight off the boat, straight out of the ocean. However you catch it, you can take a bite out of it. However, when you come to a store, you're going to want it to again look like this, or sometimes even a little darker, a little redder. That'll indicate the freshness of the fish. Anytime when it starts turning black, there's nothing wrong with that tuna, but it means that it's been sitting and oxidizing a little too long.
Okay.
You probably don't want to eat that raw.
I thought it meant that if the fish was lighter in color, it's older. It loses color as it gets older.
It depends on how it was prepared and how it was sent to the store. There's a frozen on the boat type of fresh tuna. There's a fresh loin tuna. There's different grades and varieties. Generally, what you see in the store, if it's called sushi grade tuna, be my guest. Take a bite.
Right. And can I use your freshest tuna for
Absolutely.
ceviche?
Absolutely.
I don't need to necessarily buy the sushi grade.
Absolutely.
Especially, we're going to cure this in some juices, so it's going to cook in some citrus juice. Shall we make some?
Absolutely.
Shall we do this together? Okay, so I've got in here about a pound of chopped up tuna, and I bought it. I took it from the Aussie. They prepared it for me at Aussie's right here in Cedarhurst, and some salmon. They will prepare your fish or grill your fish as well in the store, which is such a great thing to have. They have a large variety of products that you can buy as well.
It really kind of takes the effort out of cooking fish. A lot of people are really nervous about cooking fish. Jewish people tend to eat salmon and breaded flounder a lot. People are starting to wake up to tuna, and as some of the previous guests said, the kosher world is really waking up to culinary experiences.
I love that.
And as someone who didn't keep kosher then kept kosher, I'm finally able to actually sit down and eat stuff that I'm actually interested in. And it's amazing. It's really amazing. Even 5 years ago, no one really heard about ceviche. And here we are with Aussie Gourmet eating it.
The Aussie Gourmet with Aussies. Fantastic. Miriam, can I get that knife and that cutting board? That would be amazing. I just want to show people a couple of little tricks that I have here. Thank you so much. Okay, I've got here my salmon and my tuna. Amazing, thank you. And we're going to add in a jalapeno pepper with the ribs and the seeds. It's just going to give it that punch of flavor that we like.
It'll have a nice little burn to it. It's good.
We want
delicious.
We want a little bit.
A little bit of heat doesn't hurt.
Okay, and a little bit of red onions.
Delicious.
Yum. I love red onions. Not everyone likes red onions. You could use scallions if you want, or maybe some shallots. We're going to do a little bit of olive oil. And extra virgin olive oil, my favorite. Okay. I did fail to mention that I wanted to just mention now. This is a jalapeno pepper. For those of you in the store and unfamiliar, mine was already cut up. There's a little jalapeno pepper. So this is a whole one. I always like to show a whole vegetable or fruit. Some cilantro. If you do not like cilantro, everyone in the audience, I need your attention. I need to know by a raise of hands who hates cilantro. Okay, so there's always a couple of people in the audience that hate. Hands up if you love it. Okay. Awesome. We love cilantro.
Some people find that it tastes like soap.
Soap. I know. I don't understand, but that's what they say. So I'm going to take my borek. It's prepared in the store. Thank God that Gourmet Glatt does this for us. Makes our lives so much easier. It's already washed and checked by the mashgichim here. So I'm going to use fresh cilantro. But if you do not like cilantro, I use parsley. Okay, I'm just chopping that up fine. As fine as I can get it. I might not use this whole thing. You could judge with your eyes how much you look. You could do a mixture of cilantro and parsley if you'd like. I think dill would not be good. I'm just going to grab out that stem. I'm going to give that a bit of a toss. And then, of course, now, my citrus. Okay, I'm going to use my strainer. Okay? Because I can't stand the pits. Okay.
It's all part of the experience, though.
Right, having pits in your feet?
Yeah.
Nah. I like a good juicy lemon. I cut mine in half, and I do mine the old-fashioned way. I have a lot of great tools and gadgets in my house, but the best way for me to do a lemon is I pull out my strainer, and then I just use my fork, and I squeeze it that way, or the pits are going, and you're going to slowly see the salmon and the tuna will actually start cooking and curing. I'm going to call it acid cooking as opposed to heat cooking. The sharpness and the acidity level is going to cure and cook our fish. If you are a little bit nervous to eat some raw fish that's cured with citrus, you can actually bake it 400 degrees, 30 minutes, salt, pepper, and olive oil.
but it's completely unnecessary. There are millions of people in the world that eat raw fish. The Japanese, specifically, you eat sushi, you're going to eat raw fish. You go to anywhere in South America, they make a ceviche. They're eating it all day, every day. It's a delicious, delicious dish, extremely healthy, and
I find
unbelievable. Really an unbelievable dish.
Do you have a trick for limes? Because I always find limes a little bit harder, but they have like a little bit of a different flavor than lemon.
It's a different flavor, so I try to use lime, but just a little bit of it. It tends to overpower a little bit, but my hands are very big, so give me one of those.
He's going to help me. Great. He's a big guy. Thank you. Okay, I need you to stand together. Okay, and we are almost done. It's such an easy recipe, and you can make this fresh Shabbos morning as well. I'm just going to shake that off. Now I'm not going to use all my limes and lemons. Of course, now we need our salt. We're going to check back a little bit later.
A little bit of salt and pepper goes a long way, too.
Kosher salt. I usually use crushed black pepper, but I left my pepper mill at home, so I'm using black pepper from Gourmet Glatt. And I'm just going to give it a toss. Look how fabulous and fresh this looks. We're going to be able to...
And you wanted to let it sit just for a little bit. I mean, it takes a little bit for the acid to cook the fish. Again, you can eat it as is, but you want it just to sit just a little bit, let it really kind of marinate and get in there. And I guess you'll come back to it in a little bit and we're
gonna eat some. We can share it out.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank
Simon,
you
for
so
joining
much.
me and giving us a quick little lesson about fish.
Anytime. Thank you so much.
And the Aussie family, please give them our best.
Will do.
For the amazing products that
Thank you.
they bring to us.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you. I'm honored to be there. I'm honored to be there. Honored to be
Are
here.
you going to be hanging out in this Gourmet Glatt?
No, I'm actually in one of their other stores in Queens.
Okay, great.
But I'll be showing my face here every once in a while, too, I
Okay,
hope.
great. Well, thank you very
All right,
much.
thank you so much.
And I hope you'll stick around and you're going to try the ceviche
Absolutely.
in a little bit.
Absolutely.
Everybody, we're going to walkabout. We're going... Here, can't hand that over. We are going on a walkabout. I just want to go and show everyone. Alex, you want to join me here for 5 seconds? There you go. 10 seconds. We'll give it 10 seconds. How is this going? This is our curds and whey.
That's right, and it's resting.
It's resting.
Right, it's just making sure
And now it's just cooling.
right, we'll ladle in a little bit.
And we're going to ladle it in a little bit. Okay, so after our chapanash set, we're going to come up to you and you're going to show us the the final stage. Okay, thank you very much. I'm just walking back to my great set over here. My beautiful tablecloth was provided by D Squared right here in Cedarhurst. Oh, we're going over there. Okay, I'm going walking. It's like a big day for us today here. So look how pretty this looks. D Squared gave us these tablecloths to use to show off Chapanash's beautiful food display. How are you, Avi?
Good morning, how are you?
Good. You want to hold that up? Okay. Okay, our first show in Gourmet Glatt we did together.
That's right, what was that, 2 years ago? I believe?
Pushing
Been
2
2
years ago.
years.
I've got a picture for us in the newspaper hanging up in our kitchen because that was one of my first shows. So this looks lovely. Talk to me. This is actually all available in Gourmet Glatt?
This is all available packaged over at our dairy display case. We have a full line of dairy items from baked ziti, eggplant, fresh pizzas, cheese blintzes, a variety of soups.
Fresh pizza? Did you say fresh pizza?
Fresh pizzas.
You sell fresh pizza here?
We sell fresh pizza every day, available at Gourmet Glatt, 18-inch pizza pies, as well as we have prepackaged 10-inch pies, 14-inch pies, whole wheat, low-calorie whole wheat, assorted vegetable pies.
Big selection.
Yes, we do.
This looks really lovely. It's hard to believe. I mean, I know you plated this up and you can't come home with us to plate this up for us at home. But look how simple and easy. You know, you buy the product, you come home. Like even this, is that a chocolate crepe?
That is a chocolate blintzer. Chocolate cheese blintzer.
A chocolate cheese blintz.
Correct.
So inside is probably some cheese mixture and we've got some cocoa in there. Wow, we should have done that with ours. That looks really gourmet. You've garnished it so simply with a little caramel sauce there.
There's some fresh sour cream, a little caramel, some fresh fruits, and you're ready to go.
So you not only can you provide us with great food, right now on the set of Table for Two inside of Gourmet Glatt, we're getting a little bit of how to make our food look pretty on a plate. So if you are watching at home, you can have a look on nachumsiegel.com. We're on live from Gourmet Glatt. And now we have a cheese blitz with strawberry sauce. That looks gorgeous.
Correct. We make a variety of different types of blintzers, cheese blintzers, strawberry, blueberry, and of course the chocolate blintzers. And they're always available packaged here at Gourmet Glatt.
You're making more varieties now because of Shavuot, or these are always?
Yes, we'll have potato as well as maybe some other new ones.
Whoa, keep us on our toes. Okay, and what's this over here?
Here we have a baked ziti, fresh baked ziti, which is also made daily here, packaged.
I like the flour. That's edible.
That's an edible orchid,
I think
yes.
in Joy of Kosher they have an edible flour in this week's.
Yes, and there's always edible orchids available here at Gourmet Glatt.
And Gourmet Glatt has
Pre-checked.
them. Pre-checked. Oh, the mashgichim
Pre-checked.
here are unbelievable. I don't know what I would do without them. They did all my cabbages for my stuffed cabbage for Pesach.
Right, yeah.
So they will do your flowers for Shavuot that you're going to eat. Okay, so, and this is?
That's eggplant parmesan. Thin layers of breaded eggplant with a variety of different cheeses and our own homemade marinara sauce.
You make your own marinara sauce?
We make all our own sauces here at Gourmet
Really?
Glatt.
I did not know that. How very fancy. So you're getting like high quality food when you come and buy at Chapanash.
That's
I
correct.
I like these soups.
Yeah, we have a variety. We have about 8 different types of soups, as well as even a local diet vegetable soup. And,
Diet vegetable. Okay, can we hold some up? We have some mushroom barley and butternut
There's a
squash.
butternut
This
squash
is a favorite. This is a favorite. My daughter hurt her jaw. She wasn't allowed to chew food for like a week. I came and I bought like 4 of these, and she had like one every day, 1 quart every day. She almost turned orange. Okay.
Butternut. And here's a cream soup. We have a variety of different cream soups.
Cream broccoli.
Cream
I
broccoli.
wish
We have a
could eat
cream
them now.
mushroom as well.
Okay, after the wine and cheese, I could use some soup. That would go nicely. Okay, and then we have our pizza.
And then I just brought a few items. We have a full variety. We have pancakes, French toast, pizza bagels, and a variety every day of fresh different salads.
You know, that's really nice. This is so convenient. I can't begin
Quick
to...
grab and go.
Yeah, like I take my little one to the park and I'm hungry, like to Cedarhurst Park, which is quite close, and I just grab one of these and I'll eat it in the park while she's playing with her friends. It's great.
Right. We have a variety of 6 different, I believe it's 6 or even 8 different salads.
And there's dressing inside usually.
Each one
also.
comes with individual dressing
Just
inside,
make sure
a
you bring
variety
the
of
cutlery,
toppings.
right? You
Right.
probably even have cutlery
We'll give
at
you
the
that
Chapanash
too.
counter.
Correct.
Or you can buy it in aisle 3. Mandy, where's the cutlery? Aisle 2. Howie knows too. Aisle 2 is the cutlery. Okay, this is a really fantastic. And of course, besides your amazing dairy, you have a full line of Fleischik and the Fleischik.
Correct.
The
Full
Fleischik
deli.
commissary over there. I love
Other
it.
side of the store.
You know, I was very blessed. I got to go to Hawaii a few months ago for a few days, and I needed food because there's nothing to buy there. So I bought a whole bunch of your chicken cutlets, the basil one, the pesto one, and some others, and your the cream spinach, and I froze it. I put it underneath in my suitcase, and when we got to Hawaii that night, we had was it 15-hour flight or something? We had it was
Had
all
what to eat.
ready to go.
Chapanash went with
And
you on
even
vacation.
coleslaw. I think I even took coleslaw. I didn't freeze the coleslaw. But it was all ready to go, and we had dinner that night. So it's really great. You didn't even have to buy a frozen meal and then worry about how to heat it up. The food was delicious. So,
Good to hear.
yeah, especially someone who loves to cook. So it's nice that I know that I can, when I can't cook, that I can come to you.
Right.
All
Our
right.
pleasure.
Thank you, Avi, very much. This is really wonderful. Come on down to Gourmet Glatt in time that you can even give orders for Shavuot.
Yeah, we'll custom make for you how you like it and what size, different types of items, pans of food, how you like it.
Thank you very much, Avi from Chapanash. Thank you very much for joining us on the set of
Thank you.
Table for Two.
Have a good day.
Right here on the Nachman Siegel Network and right here in Gourmet Glatt. Mandy, how's it going? Mandy, okay, we're going to switch. Yeah, you're there. You can be there. I'm
Okay.
usually on the other side, so now it's like
Are
messing
you
with my
making it?
brain.
Am I making this?
You're going to make this. This is
Okay.
Mandy Hers, okay? Everybody who's ever been to Gourmet Glatt knows who you are. Anyone who's shopped online, Mandy's really, you're in charge of the
Orders and deliveries.
orders and deliveries.
Yeah.
He's the guy that makes that happen, and you have changed since you stepped in here. You have made it so easy for us to shop here.
Thank you.
I tell everyone when they place the orders, because I do it all the time, right?
Right.
Be brand and size specific if you need to be, if you need that.
Right.
But yeah, what's the best way for us to get our orders quick? Night before?
Well, night before, day before, we're that busy that even if you put in the night before, there are a lot of people who put in orders. So the earlier we get it, the earlier you get it.
Okay.
Simple as that.
I love it. And yeah, Mendy's always available to talk to people within the store about food. Mendy is a huge foodie, right?
Huge, yeah, thank you. Yes.
Tall foodie.
Tall.
Foodie. But I'm a huge foodie. Yeah, we're big foodies together. We're always talking food, and we usually talk meat. But I heard a little secret from some of the guys here in the store that Mendy is an amazing cheesecake expert.
Expert, I
He's
enjoy
gonna
making
be-
cheesecake.
He's going to be very modest.
I enjoy making cheesecake. I went on a cheesecake binge for a while.
Really?
Making it, yes.
So what made you so tall?
No, while I was in yeshiva, I made 1 year Shavuos, over 40 cakes.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
They just bought ingredients and I made them.
So what's the secret to a really good cheesecake? Because, it's hard to get it just right. I've been baking a long time, and it's so hard not to get the crack and to get it just right.
Well, the crack is if you put a water bath in the oven, it'll keep it from cracking
Can
most
you
of the time.
explain to us what a water bath is? I mean,
Well,
I know and you know.
Put a
but-
pan with hot water as you put in the cheesecake, put it underneath, and the steam that it creates, the precipitation, usually keeps cakes from cracking,
So
especially
if
cheesecakes.
you have 2 shelves in your oven, the top shelf should have the cheesecake.
And the bottom
And the second shelf underneath should have a pan
water.
of water.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about putting
So-
the
or people-
cheesecake in a pan
Some
of
people
water.
do. I've never done it because I don't like if you're using a spring form, I don't want it to leak. I've had that where water's gone into the spring
Yeah.
form. But I made cheesecakes with just to have the steam inside in the oven, and that's worked enough. Or you can put it in an actual water bath.
Okay, I like the idea of the pan of the
Underneath.
water underneath.
Yeah.
That's
I've made a couple recently, and they came out perfect, no cracks.
okay. So let's
Using
make
them.
some cheesecake right
Okay.
here on the set in Gourmet Glatt. Okay.
My
what are we
rule is
doing?
simple.
Should I
is
hold
the
this
rule.
for you? I'll
sure.
hold this up here. Is that good?
This is my mother's favorite recipe. It is 5 ingredients, and that's all.
5 ingredient. I love 5 ingredient cheesecake.
So this is a large recipe. This makes about 2 to 3 graham cracker crust, or a large spring form pan, a thick one, deep one. So I like to make this to have more than one Shabbos morning. Like my siblings and I can finish one, like 2 of us can finish one. So it's better more than be short.
I love cheesecake.
So this recipe is 3 pounds of cream cheese. I'm using whipped cream cheese. It's easier to stir, but you can use the bricks. And
That's a lot of cheesecake, but it's good. Make a lot. Does it freeze well, Mendy? Because I get those. kind of
sometimes
questions
it
a
goes
lot.
brittle. I mean, who freezes them? You
I know,
make them
'cause-
and you finish them.
And as we said, it's only a couple of ingredients, so it's just
Right.
easy to make.
You
Okay.
can half it. It's 3 pounds. You can half it to 1.5, which is 3 containers or 3 bricks.
Now, Mendy's actually choosing to put the cheese into this container on purpose.
I need a mixing bowl. I don't want the beater to break a plastic bowl.
Okay.
So.
Is
That's
it going to
in the-
beat in that?
It did on last try. But
Okay,
we
that's
hope so.
great.
If not, we'll have to transfer to a bigger pot. Do you have a
Okay.
bigger one?
It'll be like my little crepe. But I had a special fairy come and make me some crepes. Aren't I so
Okay.
lucky?
Where's the beater? Here. If you're
Okay.
using hard cream cheese, I would tell you to cream the cream cheese with the sugar first, and then slowly add in the eggs.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
It's gonna be a
okay,
mess.
okay, he's going to. Okay, let's. Oh, it's going well. Okay, we have our expert engineer here, ZK, is getting this all on film, documenting the cheesecake segment of our show here. Okay, how's it going?
Gonna bust the motor? Oh,
We're doing okay?
yeah, I can smell it already.
It's not going so good. Should we
No.
get a bowl?
The bowl is. I'm just afraid it's gonna crack the
I
plastic
don't know
bowl.
if it'll crack the bowl. Maybe we. Okay, now we're adding in our
adding-
eggs. He's just
just a
going
minute.
right along with it.
I usually just put this in a blender and be done with it.
Okay, what kind of blender do you use?
A Ninja.
A ninja
Yeah.
blender. Okay. Okay, so we've added sugar and eggs and cream cheese. Do you put
about-
sour cream into yours?
I do not. No frills, no flour, no sour cream, just to avoid the. I just like to have 5 ingredients
No,
and be done
Menzie,
with it.
I cook a lot. I think
Right.
on aisle 2 we can get another bowl, and this will go up really fast. If we put this in a plastic bowl, I think it'll go really quick.
Right. I just think it's too dense.
Okay, you think it's
For
too
the- for
dense?
the beater, yeah.
For the beater? Oh boy.
I use a mixer usually, or I use the hand blender, a mixer, or a
I use a
or a
KitchenAid.
blender. Right,
Okay, I
so-
use my KitchenAid. I happen to love my KitchenAid. Okay, so we've got a bowl. I think this is going to go really.
think
We're
this will
going
do
to
it?
try this literally for 30 seconds. And if this goes, it's going to rock. If not, see?
Is that it?
He's surprised. You doubt me.
No, I thought it was. I didn't think we had this thick a bowl.
Okay, we're going to scrape this out. Okay, I'm just going to help you. I'm going to put down your mic, and I'm just going to. I'm going to scrape this. Oh, it's going amazing, man. Okay, we are a great team. Okay, we've got everything else there that we need. See, when you cook, you've got to think on your feet sometimes. And if something doesn't work out, you move on. But if you can make something work pretty quickly and easily, then you can just do it. And we are just doing it. Okay, so I'm grabbing, we've got our cream cheese. That is coming together really, really nicely. Oh, thank you so much, Mindy. That makes it a little bit easier. Spatula and all the equipment today, except for the beaters, is available right here in Gourmet Glatt from this slotted spoon. You might want to wipe that down for yourself for this. And then I'm just going to grab out the last. We've got a little bit of sugar in here. And you want to just make sure, right, Mindy, that the cream cheese is well incorporated.
Yeah, you don't want lumps in the cream cheese.
Okay, and what happens if it, it's a bit of patience, right?
Which is why I like to use a blender. A blender gives you the smoothest.
Okay, a blender over a.
Oh, I don't have a milkshake KitchenAid.
I know. I have a milkshake bowl to my KitchenAid.
Oh, okay.
My rabbi said that was okay if I bought a separate bowl.
I don't have a KitchenAid.
Okay. My parents bought me one as a present when I started the Aussie Gourmet.
Oh, nice.
That's so nice. Thanks, Mum and Dad. I know they're for sure not watching because it's Shabbos in Australia.
Add a little vanilla and a little lemon, and you're done.
Well, that was pretty easy.
Very easy.
Okay. I'm just going to pop that right there. Okay. You want to grab me a napkin? That would be amazing. Okay, fantastic. I'm going to just grab that. Thank you, Miriam Wallach.
And it's as simple as this, and then you pour it into the spring form or to the pie shell.
That came together really nicely.
Yep.
We did it good.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
And you bake it for an hour.
Take over?
An hour at 300.
An hour at
Yeah.
300.
If you're making your own crust in a spring form, put your oven up to about 375, bake the crust for 10 minutes, then drop your oven to 300 and bake it for an hour. Remember to put water or in a water bath or water on another shelf, and you're done. If you want to add like a sour cream topping or pie topping, just put that on the last 10 minutes of the cooking time and then let it set for the last 10 minutes, and you're pretty much done.
Okay, so this
It's a
is...
no-frills, simple
I love that.
cheesecake.
And this is a dense... hold that.
This is a
That's
dense, like a New York
cheesecake.
style cheesecake.
Okay, so I'm just going to hold this up to the camera. Everyone sees how beautiful that is, a beautiful thick batter. We're going to pearl them off in here and cook them off downstairs, and we'll be able to eat those later on. And we have some samples to give out to everybody. Menti, thank you so much for joining me.
You're very welcome.
I
My
really
pleasure.
appreciate it. We're going to do a meat show next.
Perfect.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the deliveries that you do for me and all this shopping. Alex, how are we doing?
It's good.
Okay.
Looking ready to ladle it here.
Okay, we're ready to ladle. We've had our homemade farmer's cheese going for a while.
All right, and now I know you can see the curds, and the yellow is the way. So it's
Okay,
just
so did everyone
nice
see
and
that?
simple there.
Okay,
So,
go.
With the way, we're just gonna go ahead and
Scoop it.
scoop it up.
So that started off as milk. Isn't that so cool? That was milk.
That's right.
An
the
hour
magic-
ago, the start
magic
of
of
Table
cooking.
for Two. The magic of cooking.
See, I don't have that secured on here well, the cheesecloth, but this is what you want to just make sure you get it in there and let it drain.
Okay, and why are we letting it drain? So,
So
it
you want to get all that liquid out just so you have a nice firm cheese.
Okay.
And then this is where you can season it, either to be sweet or salty, as I mentioned, and we'll just put a little salt on there just to,
like a little kosher salt. Remember, only
salt.
kosher salt.
and you can stir it in, and then just drain it. I like to make it look, as we'll see here in a minute, I just like to pick it up and then
And now what do we do with this?
just want to squeeze it out a little bit. So
Okay,
we want
so
to squeeze this a little,
we're squeezing it,
and then just wrap it up real nice.
squeezing it tight.
And you want to make sure all that liquid's
It's,
out.
it's almost like when I make my cauliflower pizza and I need to make mine very, 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 very dry.
And so you just want to do that nice,
That looks amazing.
and then just form it.
I can't believe we made cheese today.
I know, isn't it cool?
On Table for Two. We eat
It's
cheese
really cool
and we
and
make cheese.
easy, right?
So easy. Hands up if the audience if you're going to make this. Okay, just me.
Okay, just-
I'm the crazy one. You can go buy it over there.
And here's the finished product. So that's what, this went in the fridge overnight.
So what would I do with this now?
So you would put it in the fridge and let it firm up for at least, 6
Do I
hours.
have to put it in a Ziploc bag, or I do it
No,
like
you
that?
can just put it straight in just like that.
In a little
and it's
bowl
that
in the
easy.
fridge, and then it turns into
then it
that.
turns into this.
He made this last night.
Just undo it. It's got those nice cheesecloth lines, which I think look really cool.
Yeah,
And
it's
authentic.
awesome.
Just put that there. You want to try a piece?
Yeah, of course.
Let's see, I'll break it off there.
Okay. All right.
Have a little l'chaim.
L'chaim. Oh my gosh. So it needs, I would do this with sugar and some vanilla and put it inside one of our crepes.
That'd be awesome.
And
It
this
makes-
costs
it's good.
$2 to make.
Right, yeah, it's, really affordable.
And if you're cholesterol and you live out of town and you
Right.
cannot get cheese, you now know how to make your own. This was an incredible, for everyone,
Yeah, well, thank
a
you.
lesson for us all. Thank you so much, Alex, for coming
Thank you.
onto the set. Make sure you follow his blog, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
All right, you got
Okay,
it.
great.
Thank
The
you so much.
Kosherologist. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
You want to grab
Sure.
grab that, pass that to. Okay, thank you very much. Just while I'm on the way, look at the ceviche. It has turned white. It's turning white. That means it's cooking in its juices and it's ready to be eaten. Okay, hi Howie.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, the hour and 20 minutes have just gone like that. It's crazy.
It's flying by.
Yeah, it's unreal. We have so much to talk about. You know that, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, Howie. Let's start off with this. Let's start off with the food that's in front of us.
Okay, so first I have,
Before I
have-
ask the hard questions, and you know what they're going to be.
I can't imagine. Okay, so first I have 3 shout outs I want to do. One to Meir and Shoshana. Okay, you know my Shoshana.
Of course.
All right, just got married and moved to
I know,
Baltimore.
a huge muzzle top.
All right, thank you. And to Leah and Shmuel in Lakewood, the last couple. And then to my back office staff, which without them, nothing would scan. It would be a mess, labels. And I call them, all my guys are really the unsung heroes of Gourmet Glatt. But these guys are really great. So it's Yaakov, and it's Hudi and Aliza in the back office. Really do a fantastic job.
Aliza is your oldest.
Oldest
daughter?
one, yes.
She's great. Yes, I've known your girls for a long time.
Yes, you did. Yes, you do. I want to make a mention today of the beautiful flowers that Debbie Flowers gave us here on the
Gorgeous. Thank
table,
you, Debbie.
as well as this whole arrangement behind us. It's Mother's Day this weekend, so come on in, get some flowers. Let's honor our moms and grandmothers, as well as Shavuot is around the corner, so we've got a beautiful array of fresh cut flowers and arrangements, table arrangements, and so on.
This is a one-stop
Shop, yes, it is.
It's a destination supermarket. If you do not live in the 5 towns, you don't have to live here. I get it why you might not live here, but you can come
I
and
don't.
shop here.
I love it here. I just
love
moved
it
here. I love it.
Well, but no, it's not, some people might have their families and hard to move away from their families.
Okay, all right.
Not
We'll
me.
let them go.
But if you don't live in the area, come shop here. It is so much fun to come to the 5 towns. You can go to some fabulous restaurants. Again, shout out to the Fish Plate. They have everything from pizza to ice cream to soup to fish.
We have everything in the 5 towns. Everything is here.
And to Gourmet Glatt.
Gashmi,
you can buy
Ruchni, everything. Really, it's just a
We have
fantastic
a
place to be.
Great infrastructure in
Yes,
this
yes,
town.
Baruch Hashem,
One
wonderful.
day we'll all be living in Israel, but until then we're here. But I really enjoy coming shopping, and I have friends that come actually from other neighborhoods to come do a full shop here.
Right.
I love the sushi. big shout out.
Shout out
the
to them
sushi.
as well. They're gonna be very busy going into Shavuos.
Yeah.
Very important. Don't forget your sushi platters, right?
Oh,
For Yom
sushi
Tov.
plates. They probably can make them in the shapes of 10 Commandments. So everyone's been going crazy with that.
Well, they always get creative. They do the hamantash and sushi for Purim, and they're always getting cute ideas. Okay, so first, this morning's show was great.
Thank you.
Okay, really fantastic, great guests.
What
3 demos.
Really informative.
It was great. People standing here and really taking notes on all your cooking steps and all the different things that were going on. A lot of questions being asked in the aisles as you were speaking, and whoever was demoing, all your guests were fantastic.
Yeah.
This was a good show. They're all good, but this one was exceptional. So as far as the show, and then it's Erev Shavuos. I'm on my countdown with 2 weeks to Yom Tov.
Literally.
Literally on my countdown.
I'm still going. I'm still going.
Yeah, okay, good.
I'm still going. With a
Very
buffer.
good. Excellent. Last night was 34.
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as the store, here at Gourmet Glatt, we are ready for Yom Tov. We're ready for the rush. We're ready for everyone's needs. We're hoping that we really planned ahead, thought ahead, and anticipated customers' needs. It's always That's always the biggest challenge, and I'm in touch with the people that put out the new cookbooks and the new recipes that appear in Bina and all these other magazines and so on. And we try to stay a step ahead. They send me the list of ingredients before Yontif.
Right, we
so
have
that I know.
something in here we're going to start.
Right.
Joy of Kosher that we want to get in the store.
So before these actually hit the stands, I'm aware of what's coming in, and we anticipate, and we hope that we anticipate properly, and we forecast, and we bring in all the merchandise. So as far as our stock rooms and everything else, we're ready for Yontif. We're all good to go.
And you have some great new products. I've been working with Hannah as well
Right.
on her dressings. Can I just give Hannah, I'm telling everybody about your green goddess dressing. This is
Were you here
fantastic.
yesterday when she demoed?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
came in from Toronto. She was demoing yesterday. Everyone was just loving all the different
Yeah,
dressings.
I want to give her a whole half hour on Table for Two because
that'd be great.
I didn't want to give her 5 minutes here in the show. I thought her salad dressings were amazing. And I got these potato chips as well. The company sent me these. I thought it's so cute. Each packet of potato chips has got its own little... This is
A
like
little name, a
salty,
little
so
story.
it's the secret of Mr. Salts.
Right, and they've got here this one. It's the day sweet and sour became friends.
That means
and
salt
then-
and vinegar.
Right, when
When
hickory
hickory
got
got
barbecued.
Like it's
And then,
like
you know which one I'm out
very
of? I can't believe it. The chicken soup flavor.
I have it in my house.
Yeah, it was very popular when they were doing that demo that day. People could not believe it. And it wasn't bad. It was nice to have that little something together with the
We love
potato
chicken
chip.
soup, so I'm going to eat mine when I get home. We're going
was
to have
good.
it over Shabbos. Okay, can we...
Wait, we're not done. Hold it.
Okay.
I have a few more new items. I know
Okay,
where
we've
you
got
want to
4
go.
minutes left, and I got a couple
Okay.
of questions for you, mate.
Dulce de leche, as you know, as a chef, it's the ingredients.
It's the
So-
ingredients.
It's the ingredients. Yes, having a great recipe is fantastic, but you know what? You need to have your quality ingredients. This is authentic. This is from Argentina. Dulce
it's
de leche.
Argentinian? 'Cause I
This
know
is
this
not
is which
pourable.
companies.
This is the real
You
deal.
have to,
have to
it's not
scoop
a
this
sauce.
out.
It's
and
a custard almost.
it's Chol Yisrael.
Oh,
So
I
this
did
is the
not
brand.
realize
It's
that.
Chol Yisrael. Roland Dulce de leche. Okay.
And
these
Esti
are
Capra
Asti
made those.
Capra
Yeah, my
chocolate
buddy.
chips. You know what?
Shout out to you, Esty. We're waiting to have you on Table for Two when you get yourself down here from Toronto.
Right, that'll be great. I told her we have to have her on, and she's got a new item coming out, which is streusel crumbs.
Okay.
So, and I've
we'll
been
get-
promised we'll be the first retail store to have that product in it.
Howie,
Yes.
we got to talk. What's going on in Woodmere? Is it true?
It's a nice place. It's a little further east.
It's further. It's right near my house.
So-
Is this true? Are you guys going to open up in Woodmere?
God willing, we're opening. It'll be different. 2 stages of opening. Right
Okay,
now,
talk
people
to
are
us.
just they just need
So
they
it's
need
like
they need
breaking. This is almost literally breaking news.
they need a store, and the response when word got out locally that we were going to be doing this, people were just overwhelmed with the ability to have the shopping experience of Gourmet Glatt in Woodmere, and we're excited to do it. So 2 schools of thought were either keep the store closed for quite a while and renovate and do everything we want to do,
Okay.
or just get it open. The customers need a place to shop.
Get it open. The customers need a place to
that's-
shop.
that's where we're
Alright,
going.
And 3 blocks from there.
Yeah,
I love it. But you
it'll
have
be-
to be open till 5 minutes before Shabbos.
that I can't.
I know.
That's not going to happen.
When I always
But-
forget to buy soda. Like we
Right,
send the kids there
right.
like 10 minutes.
That's
before
probably the most
vacation.
popular question.
We're down to our last 2 minutes.
Lastly, is these paleo pops. Finally, a sugar-free, legit paleo.
Paleo pops. Paleo is so interesting.
It's
okay.
it's a great diet trend, and people who
Yeah,
who are
people
really
are
watching
really
the sugar.
sugar about paleo.
Yes, so we've got it in.
Okay. Howie,
What else could I tell you?
this is very exciting. All your products and all your news about moving, and I hear
Right.
there's something about New Jersey.
Jersey has a Lakewood store
Jersey's
coming
got
on as well.
stores. We got lots going on. I love the expansion of Gourmet Glatt. I am so honored, and our Nachman Siegel Network is
Right.
honored to be a part of that.
Right.
To go.
It's
all right,
been
we've got
exciting.
10
It's
seconds.
just been exciting knowing that this was all going on in the background. In previous shows, I haven't been able to talk
I
about
know
it.
he's been biting
So, yeah,
his
it's,
tongue, and we got the whole next
and there's
door.
more stuff.
And
Mitzvah
this-
Shem.
we could do a whole half hour. Maybe you'll come into the studio and we'll talk as we get closer
Okay,
to the time.
okay, absolutely.
We'll do a show in the studio. This is Table for Two on the Nachman Siegel Network. Thank you for joining me. I was your host, Naomi Nachman. Our show is sponsored by Abels and Hyman. We taste better. I would just like to give a big thank you to all our guests today that came in, and especially to Howie Clagsborough and Yoli Steinberg and the entire team that makes it happen, from the guys in the back office to the people who helped me sweep up when I knocked over and smashed a glass this morning. You're a fabulous place to shop and a fabulous supporter of the Nachman Siegel Network. Thank you to you. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, ZK. Thank you, Danny. Thank you to my intern from SKA, Rachel Kaufman, who is here, who's working for me for her work-study program. It has been an amazing experience. Thank you, Rabbi Adler. Thank you, the entire team, from everyone that's been here. My amazing guests, I'm scared I'm going to leave someone out. Shifra Klein, Alex Idov, Brent Delman, Shomo Blashka, Simon Springer, Menti Hers. Who have I left out? I think we're good. I did good. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Stay listening to us right up until Left Wing Kings. We've got music sponsored by Kedem, who provided our amazing show today with Shlomo. Shabbat Shalom. Stay tuned. Next week is a great show.